The Sooners were in control, and then they weren't, and then they were again. I'm Barry Trammell, along with OU writer Ryan Abert. We're at Owen Field. We're on Saturday. Oklahoma beats West Virginia 44-24 in a top 25 matchup. And Ryan, Sooners, it wasn't as easy as it looked like, but in the end, the Sooners win going away.
Yeah, they pulled away. It looked like at halftime they were up 17. You thought that they were just going to roll away with this game. Didn't happen like that. West Virginia climbed back into the game with a couple quick scores right after the break. But then Deron Neal breaks off for a 71-yard touchdown that gets OU going again, to force a couple of big turnovers there in the second half to get going, including a huge play by Eric Stryker that led to a Jordan Evans touchdown. Jordan Thomas, coming back from a suspension, has 2 interceptions. Fantastic day for him. So it wasn't perfect for the Sooners by any means, but they were able to get the job done on both sides of the ball. 5
takeaways for this OU defense, which frankly it had not done that well in creating turnovers, but 5 today really turned the tide. West Virginia able to run some, but the West Virginia air raid pretty ineffective against the OU secondary. I thought the OU DBs played a really good game. Skyler Howard is not an elite level West Virginia quarterback, but still a stellar game for that OU secondary.
Yeah, absolutely, especially like I mentioned, Jordan Thomas. He was a guy who was suspended 2 weeks ago against Tulsa. P.J. Mbanassor, his replacement, got burned repeatedly in that game. It was big for them to get Jordan Thomas back and going. He made plays from the first drive of this game to the last. Just a phenomenal day for him, a big game for the OU secondary in general.
And the OU offense, conversely, West Virginia, a very, very pressing, blitzing, pressurized defense. Did not want that OU running game to get going. Samaje Perine burned the Mountaineers last year in Morgantown, recall. Tonight, didn't happen at all, but the Sooners made them pay. Baker Mayfield delivers a variety of big passes. He took his sacks, got 4 sacks on him, some flushed from the pocket, but that OU passing game really did make a lot of plays.
Yeah, he was able to make plays to a variety of receivers. Sterling Shepard had the touchdown that he scored. He was just absolutely wide open on, and there was a secondary receiver wide open on that play. They had a lot of guys open against West Virginia's man defense. The Mountaineers came in. Everybody's talking about how great their secondary is, but OU really spread it out. Sterling Shepard, Deron Neal, D.D. Westbrook had a really big game. Had a fumble that cost him a little bit, but was able to come back with some big plays, was able to top 100 yards today.
Really sort of the big difference in the game, I thought, was the OU receivers did really come out and assert themselves, made West Virginia pay for that kind of defense. Let's go to the OU locker room, see what the Sooners had to say.
But I'm really proud of our team to really take a strong lead in the first half, go in at halftime in a pretty good, lead and playing well. Not happy how we come out at halftime, but again, that's part of the game. You keep playing, and West Virginia had their spots there where they made some good plays and and closed the gap. And then, but really proud of our guys' attitude then to take control of it after that, making a big play offensively, defensively, making a bunch of big plays and really playing well. To take back control of the game and to seal it, in a really good way there at the end. So,
and then, that's been the question mark here is when people do load up and really commit to stop the run, can we be good enough in the throwing game? The first half we certainly were. Didn't call a very good game in the second half. A bunch of errors by me that I've got to do better. Huge play, obviously, by Deron there at the end of the third quarter. We knew it was going to be like that. Against a group like that, it's almost like playing against, what I can compare to playing like against a Virginia Tech or people like that are so aggressive is that, and they have good enough players. I mean, they're the #1 scoring defense in the country coming in here. So, I mean, they're going to make some plays.
And we did good early on, taking advantage of that, taking some one-on-one shots. Later in the game when they started getting back into it was when we were kind of losing our aggressiveness and taking our shots where we'd like to have those back. We'll see on film where we could have kept going downfield and with the one-on-ones. Had no momentum at the time, and the only slight momentum we had was on the kickoff return. They called it back, and we were backed up in 5. Got a few 2 plays before that, and then Deron we faked a little smoke screen on the left, and then he broke free, and he got wide open. That's easy for me to get there, but it's a huge momentum shift, and it kills their confidence when you put the dagger in like that.
I mean, on film, that's what they known to do, and they like to jump everything, and we caught them, and luckily it busted for a big one.
Could you tell immediately that they're in trouble?
I knew as soon as Baker signaled us to play that they was going to jump it. That's something that, like I said, we've been working all week in practice, and it came to real life, and we executed right.
How do you keep from getting too excited when you know you're about to get a pass that's going to be wide open?
Because in practice, like all throughout the week, I've been catching the pass all week, so it was just another pass.
I thought we were able to do that. I thought we were able to make them hold the ball, a little bit longer, so our coverage was better for the most part. So those are all, parts of getting turnovers. They wanted to run the football. That team wants to run the football if you let them. And you got to watch. That still puts people on an island defensively. But I thought our whole secondary had really good position on the ball and didn't give them anything real easy throughout the course of the game, and tried to make them throw tight balls and tight windows.
We emphasize that in practice. Having so many rips at the ball, and trying to get the ball out, and we've done that every week. I just think today, I think it just it happened. It was happening and happening. With the interceptions and the fumbles. Exactly what we wanted to happen. What we've been practicing really since camp. So it was one after another. But we've been practicing this.
Yeah, it's always a blast when they're just not necessarily giving gifts. We're just making plays. And just celebrating with your teammates. We spend so much time together, and just to go out there and just have fun and get all these turnovers. It's all smiles everywhere.
What was key for you on the 2 interceptions? Was it just being right place at the right time, or just?
Being at the right place at the right time at the same and then at the same time it's a lot of technical stuff. We worked a lot of technique wise, staying square and just playing aggressive, and that was a huge thing that I learned. And then the last one, just kind of read his route. He kind of telegraphed it, and then after that I just jumped it, and the rest is history.